Hey, listeners, did you know that we also have a Patreon page like every struggling artist in this digital world today? Because we do. Patreon.com/Totes Recall. Dan, I swear to God.
About what?
Don't test me. Anyway, you guys, we have multiple tiers. Some of them are insane and are basically reserved for Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Yeah.
But some of them are for as little as $1 a month. You can get exclusive bonus Patreon-only content.
Yeah.
We just recorded a Totes Recall ode to summer,
Yes,
which took some interesting turns.
Stayed on topic and was about summer the whole
Yes,
time.
Yeah.
it was exclusively about summer.
It's exactly what you think it will be.
Yes, you should definitely, if you are not already a patron, become one to confirm that it is only about summer. And oh boy, will it make you think about summer and nothing else.
Yeah.
But also, at certain tiers, you can get the incredible privilege of having your name in lights in audio form.
Yes.
Like our new best friend / newest patron, Gabriel T. These are lights. This is the audio form of right? Blinking lights.
Yay.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your patronage.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
is Gabriel from another country?
Ooh, great question.
Well, I don't
We
want
don't
to
know.
dox them,
Oh, great. Well,
But maybe.
but maybe.
But maybe they are.
They're from another country than
Here.
United
Are you
Another-
trying to not dox us too? Is
Yeah.
that what's happening?
Oh,
well, I'm saying
You
like
don't want
they're from
people
a
to
country
know where we are.
relative to some country. They're
Got it.
another country.
Gabriel, if you're listening and you are okay with being revealed, tweet at us and just say hashtag yes, I am from another country.
But I mean, everyone's from another country, depending on what country it is.
Right, okay.
Oh.
we
Hashtag
understand
yes,
that.
I am from another country from you.
Yeah. Compared to you. the
Compared to
USA
you.
number
No, you just doxed us.
Oh, no. I mean, get that content. We talk about the state we live in, too.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you become a patron, we half dox ourselves for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Patreon.com/TotesRecall.
Duck up.
Um. Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we don't remember very well, eat 2 pizzas, 2
Okay,
salads.
okay.
Thank you, patrons. Talk that movie again. Oh, it's so close to doing it fast.
Where are
Wow.
you?
Did you do that in one breath?
Yeah.
That was
Pretty good.
impressive.
My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this episode is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Yes.
hope y'all like this as much
Wait,
as I
what
did.
song is that again? What's the famous
Well,
song?
Boom,
he does.
No, he like sings a song.
You
Oh, no,
can
he does.
twist and shout.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Boo doo doo doo. Oh yeah. Bo bo.
I cannot hear that song without picturing him running across the whole neighborhood
Great.
Yeah.
and jumping over hedges and all that.
There's another movie with Michael J. Fox that uses that song, and it's very
Do
confusing.
you think this movie
Oh.
has Michael J. Fox in it?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
No, I'm
Just
not an
checking.
idiot, Dan.
I don't. Okay, the premise of the show is that we're dummies.
It's like how to be successful or something, or
Oh.
business people.
Business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starring Michael J. Fox.
How to be
Yeah.
successful without trying or something
He's
like
in
that.
Doc
Michael J.
Hollywood.
Fox?
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
he in a
Isn't he
movie
the
version of
star
that
of
or something?
I think so.
Oh.
That's my best guess.
Was he the conservative child
Yes.
on the TV show?
Yes.
Yes,
correct.
Alex P. Keaton
Yes.
on
correct.
Family Ties.
Ties.
Yep. Yep. So I just
Bo bo.
so I remember this movie pretty well. I think it came out during what was for me, like I came of age during the John Hughes era
Mhm.
with 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and then eventually the sort of disappointing Some Kind of Wonderful. But anyway, so I grew up during that whole era, and so Ferris Bueller was part of that. I feel like it may have come out, my guess is 1986.
Wow.
Okay.
Because that would have been, maybe a little later, maybe 88. Because that would have been 8th grade for me. I'm going to go with 88.
Okay.
But so I remember watching it in the movie theater and having a great time with my friends. this may have been one of the movies that you would have a VHS tape for overnight, like slumber parties.
Yep.
Sure.
But then my most like wedged into my hippocampus of my mind was watching this on TV in the same room as my mom. And we rarely watched TV together because I could feel her judgment no matter what
On the
it
content
was.
or on you
always
watching
on
it?
the content. Yeah.
Did
And
she like a movie?
what? No.
Okay.
What about what I just described?
I'm just trying to decide, like, whether she only watched black and white movies or like,
Oh, like versus what her taste was?
yeah, like if she got to pick, or was everything trash?
Mm.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean she liked television, but her idea of television was like MASH, you know. Yeah, so it wasn't, or Family Ties, or that whole generation of movies. Anyway, we were watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and she hadn't said anything, and I was so grateful. And we get all the way to the point where Cameron is trying to take the miles off of his dad's Porsche by putting it in reverse.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, the car gives out and backs through a glass window and into a ravine.
Well, he kicks
And
it
at
a bunch.
What?
He kicks it a bunch.
Oh, well, that's not relevant to this part of the story.
Is that a bet?
Yeah.
Cameron
that's
kicks the car a
kicks it
bunch?
in rage.
He kicks it, and that's why it
Yeah.
falls into the ravine.
Yeah.
Because it's running backwards and then it
Yes.
falls off the thing and drives
Which,
backwards.
P.S., it doesn't work. Not even for older cars.
No.
But anyway, it falls into the ravine, and finally my mother says, this movie is not very realistic, right? That they would get into a lot of trouble. It's like, God bless America. It would be like explaining Police Academy isn't about, like, no shit. I am trying to have an escapist teen experience watching this. I really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, it just burned my butter.
You should have been like, well, Mom, I doubt all of the primary cast members of MASH would have stayed stationed at that one base or clinic the entire length of the war.
And also, it's in Korea, but really, it's about Vietnam.
Oh, she told us that every time it came on. Like every time. Which sadly is a trait I have picked up where
What?
I will tell people the same information
Oh, yeah.
over and over
I do that
again.
all the time because I can't remember what I've told anyone.
Yep.
Yeah. Or you're like, this is interesting, but I want to share it with everyone.
Yeah.
But have I shared it with you yet?
Yeah.
Better to
I
just
do
say it
that,
out
and then my bonus version of that is always trying to be courteous and assuming I haven't introduced my wife to someone,
Oh.
and then it turns out it's happened.
Yeah, you just seem like a braggy man, bragging about his wife all the time.
I guess.
Have you met
Oh,
my
have you met
wife?
my wife?
I'll start to tell a story and then people's eyes will glaze over and I'll assume it's because I've already told them the story. So I'm like, I'm sorry. Did I already tell you this story? I'm sorry.
Well, at least you do that in the middle. I say, have I told you this story yet? Before I've said anything.
Uh-huh.
And finally my husband was like, how would I know? And I was like, because probably the same thing that prompted the story last time is happening right now.
Sure.
So, but he has a terrible memory, which is part of the reason we're a great match.
Yay.
Yeah.
I owned this on DVD.
Wow.
Braggy.
I've seen it many times. It's my favorite movie in high school.
Wow.
Mhm.
I had no idea. You seemed so lukewarm about the movie when we were talking about it earlier.
Well, because I've seen it so many times.
Oh.
I was like, do I have things to say about it that are going to be interesting? So far, no.
I don't know, DVD.
Yeah, DVDs.
I think this came out in 86. I'm going to steal Molly's initial
cool.
bet.
Wow.
I want to say 85,
Wow.
just to be spicy.
I'm going to say
Spicy. Show Michael J. Fox over here.
I'm going to say 87.
Complete the
Ooh.
run.
Complete that run.
This movie, he has a day off. He gets into shenanigans.
He takes a
Okay.
day off.
Yeah, takes a day off, pretends to be sick. I do remember the sick methods really resonating with me, and I put them in my back pocket, but never used them. So I would never lie about being sick to my
Right.
parents.
So it'd be like he licks his palms, right?
Yeah.
To make him sweaty.
Yeah.
What does he do? He makes his face red somehow or
He's-
warm.
Yeah, I think he does the thermometer trick maybe, but mostly he just turns on the charm. It's like, Mom.
He's
Yeah.
so charming, and he's got a
So
sweet
cute.
AV setup.
Yes.
Oh, and a synthesizer.
Oh, I was very attracted to Matthew Broderick in this movie, by the way.
yes.
Wow.
Someone, Gwen's bets, someone has a vest.
He has a vest. It's like
Yeah.
brown. It almost looks like a leopard print, but it is not a leopard
Almost
print.
paisley, but
Fun
not
vest.
really.
Yeah.
Kind of leopard print like, yeah.
Cameron's wearing a Detroit Red Wings
That is
jersey.
true.
And Sloane has like a white fringe jacket.
Yes, she does. I think
Wow.
I'll double down on that. Double Beth? I don't know.
I'm gonna just out of the bat do my signature enthusiasm deflating a little bit, and I'm gonna bet that in the modern world, we're going to find at least certain parts of this movie. We're gonna find Ferris Bueller to be an entitled prick.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's going to be really annoying. That's another reason why I'm nervous about it. Because like I was like as a teenager thought he was very cute
And cool.
and cool and charming, and now I'm going to think that he's like an annoying teen.
He's very charming. I'm concerned also that Sloane is just the hot girlfriend that just hangs out and is hot.
I'm also concerned about that.
Yeah.
She has a little something going on. Doesn't she get like one little monologue before when they're sitting at the hot tub?
I don't know.
Isn't she just like saving Cameron at that point though?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm worried a lot of her character is just like, Ferris, I don't want to do that. And then being like, come on, I'm charming. And then she just sighs and they continue on with his adventure.
It's sort of like the sitcom mom role.
That's my concern.
Also, I feel like she starts out with a British accent and it goes away.
Wow, I like
That's a
that
good
bet.
bet.
What?
Yeah, that's part of my memory. I also think that Jennifer Grey.
Oh, yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
she
Oh, yeah.
Dirty Dancing? Isn't she his
Yes.
sister?
Yeah,
She is a sister, and I
Yeah.
think I'm going to relate to her more this time.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
And
The
I
rule
cannot
follower.
wait for the scene with her and Charlie Sheen.
Mhm.
That's at a police station.
Yeah.
And I think I remember reading that Charlie Sheen prepared
Yes.
for that by staying up all night and partying and just not cleaning up and
Correct.
coming in.
Seems very
That is
accurate.
the
Yes.
story, is that he just like didn't sleep and then just for maybe multiple days and then just came on set without changing or taking
Yeah.
a shower
Was
or
he
anything.
a
So
known
charming.
person at that point?
Yes,
Yes.
because
Okay.
his dad is a famous actor.
Martin Sheen.
Sure. Because
Also
so
president of the United States.
so that's more of a cameo role instead of an introducing.
Oh, it's definitely not introducing. I don't know. Cameo seems too far,
because it's really short, right?
Yeah, I
It's
mean, I
just
don't know
got
if it was
one
so
scene.
much
but
like
impactful.
I don't know if it was so much like, oh, that guy. I don't know if he was quite there in his career yet. Where
Yeah.
you're just like, oh shit, it's that guy, unless you just happen to see.
I guess he was in Platoon, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so maybe you'd be like, oh shit, it's the guy from Platoon.
No, I remember being familiar with Charlie Sheen, but not feeling like, oh wow, what a massive
What a
guest,
stunt
like what a
casting,
stunt
yeah.
casting. It just seemed like, yeah, good casting.
Okay.
So somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The principal in this movie.
Oh yeah.
He's a creep, right? Is that a thing?
Good question.
I don't know. Like, I'm not even just saying in the movie. I mean, in real life.
What?
Oh.
I think
that
he turned
don't
out to be a
know.
creep.
Oh no!
really?
We'll have to look that up.
Can you write
Yeah.
that down?
Can you
But
write
he's
down, look that up?
he's
That's-
also a creep in the movie because he's like sneaking around that house and he like doesn't he sneak in on somebody's room?
He gets the shit beat out of him
Yes.
by Jennifer Grey.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And also the dog eats his crotch.
Yes.
Yes.
Very
Quite spent
memorable
crotch eat.
Crotch eat.
Oh,
Ew.
please.
Just say bite.
Come on.
Eat implies like severing of
Consumption.
organs. That's a
Ugh.
different movie entirely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I guess-
I wrote my bet down.
Okay, so to be clear, you think that the dog eats his junk.
His genitals.
Well, it's what I said and wrote down, so yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Eats his crotch.
Yeah. Blah.
I don't know if he's a creep. I mean, he's very focused on getting Ferris
yes,
Bueller.
he
Yeah.
is the Javert of
Mm-hmm.
this movie.
I don't know who that is.
It's a Les Mis reference.
Oh.
You're welcome, theater nerds.
I only got it because I had somebody had recently described the plot of Les Mis to me.
Nice.
Oh, what if this is just a reproduction, like
Yes.
moment by moment of Les Mis?
Absolutely. The parade is like the fucking revolution song where they're piling up all their furniture and
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be. Oh, I love that parade. I hope it holds up. I hope the whole thing holds
Parade
up.
is fun, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm worried about though. I'm worried
He
that
sings
like
Donkashane too.
right, like I'm worried that it'll be all the things that I used to think were fun. I won't get over the fact that he's facing no consequences.
Right. You'd be like, if you were a young, yeah, I get it.
I will say, as the resident Hollywood German expert,
Oh yes.
um, it's Dankeschön,
Mhm.
and so it's very confusing why that song says Dankeschön.
Because it's probably just because some Americans sang it, right?
Yeah, I guess so. You know who it is? It's like some old guy that sings now, but it's like as a child. It sounds weird.
Wait,
can't
Wait,
think
what?
someone with Benjamin Button?
What are we saying? Yeah.
Yeah, Benjamin Button sings
Well,
that
you said
song.
an old guy who's now
No,
a child.
it's like Wayne Newton as a young man,
Oh.
and so it sounds like a woman.
What?
Singing.
Wow.
Is
What?
that true?
I don't know.
Write it down.
Bet he has a higher pitch voice.
Wayne
Newton? Is that a person?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's Wayne Newton as a younger man.
As a child.
Yeah, Wayne Newton as a child.
I don't know if
Sounds
it's
like
a
a baby.
child,
Sounds like a woman.
but I think his voice is super high pitched.
I love this bet so much.
This is very much a bet. I hope everyone is yelling at me right now.
Wayne Newton sounds
Everyone
like a
knows
man
it's
when he's
Frank
a child.
Sinatra. No,
all
I'm
those,
just kidding.
all those Wayne heads out there are screaming at their.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Venn diagram of
Yep.
Wayne. I bet it's a total eclipse between Wayne Newton and Totes Recall fans.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Absolutely.
sense.
I think Matthew brought Ferris's dad brings some big dad energy.
What does
I'm
that
gonna
mean?
Oh, yeah.
really just like the dad energy that he's throwing down. Just gonna be a good dad.
Give me an example.
It's got a lot of dad.
Like a broad generalization.
Oh, of what dad energy I
But
like?
like in this-
corny jokes.
Okay.
just the
being like
oblivious way he drives.
a little oblivious,
Got
but like
Mm.
kind.
Oh, is he going to be like sort of unintentionally condescending to his sister because she's like trying to explain that Ferris is an asshole and gets away with everything? And he's just like, okay, honey, that kind
I
of
think they
shit.
both are. I think everybody is. That's kind of like nobody.
Yeah.
She's the only one who sees what we will see
Yes.
in 2019.
Yes.
I do think it passes the Bechdel Wallace though.
Oh, good.
Although I'll be interested to see because I feel like Jennifer Grey definitely talks to the mom character, but I don't know if it's exclusively about Ferris or not.
Does mom have a name?
I think so.
I'm gonna bet it does not pass.
Ooh, she's a career woman. I know that
I also know
because
that.
she wears shoulder pads.
Nice. I'm going to take a very bold, specific Bechdel Wallace bet that it passes because Sloane talks to a woman who worked at the school.
Oh, on
the
the
sec-
phone.
the secretary?
Yes.
The secretary about her
Professional-
grandmother.
What do we
Mhm.
call her?
Oh, she's so great.
She is.
I don't know what you call her. Office manager?
Administrator?
Something? I don't know.
Administrative
It's
assistant?
usually like the secretary.
School administrator?
Yeah, but isn't secretary kind of a reductive term?
Well, isn't this 1986?
That's
You
what I bet.
once
Whoa.
yelled at Dan because he called a woman in the future a prostitute.
In the future.
Oh, okay.
I think he said desk prostitute.
And I think he's
That
I
was
think
the
he called
second beat
the
of it.
secretary a desk prostitute.
That was the second beat of a joke. Go back and listen to.
What was it? Was it Fifth Element?
No.
I think it was Total Recall, the bad one,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah, maybe. It was definitely a Philip K.
Or was it
Dick.
Total Recall, the first one?
No, I think it was the bad one.
Yeah.
Where it drops through the center of the earth or whatever.
2012.
Yeah, because she had like crazy tattoos that changed colors.
Yeah, and she could do.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But to be clear, she's not a prostitute.
No,
No.
Well, someone was in that movie.
right?
But I think
Jaquette's bet there's a prostitute in Totes Recall 2012.
okay.
Total recall.
sex-
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's a sex worker. Excuse
Yes.
me.
There you go. We're getting there.
Desk worker.
Desk worker.
Mhm.
At any rate, she is charming, and she's not the one. Does she have the little
Who's
bum,
charming?
bum bum bum?
Ooh.
No, that's Grease.
That is Grease.
Oh.
Oh,
Is
it's
she-
so good. She's a great character actor.
Is
Though.
she
Yeah.
chipper?
Oh,
yes.
so
I feel like
sweet.
she's chipper because that's part of the comedy when Principal first goes on the warpath, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's like, I'm going blah, blah, blah. And she's just like,
She's like,
okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm merging her with Office Space accounts
Just a moment.
receivable. Yes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it has similar energy, but I think she has a sweeter obliviousness and calm.
She says something about him being a righteous dude.
Yes.
Ooh.
Ferris Bueller, that is.
Yeah.
Do we ever see any of the other parents, or is it just Ferris's parents?
It's just Ferris's parents.
Mhm.
Cameron's
Ferris
are absent.
dresses up as Sloane's dad at
Oh,
some point.
right.
Kisses her.
Yeah.
And the principal's like, that kind of family.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Accepting of on the mouth parental kisses.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, Cameron has, like, he's he impersonates a very specific person whenever he has to be an adult on the phone.
Yeah,
And I can't
it's
remember.
like a sports announcer.
Yeah.
Abe Froman, the Sausage King of New York. Chicago.
Chicago. Yep.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
in this movie somewhere.
Okay. Great.
That's at the restaurant. They put in the name Abe Froman, right? Yeah. They do a lot of things. They go to the museum. They go to a baseball game.
yeah.
It's basically like a love note to Chicago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, and we can't forget the teacher who says Bueller,
Oh,
who's
Ben Stein.
Ben Stein.
Yes.
Win his money.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me because I think a whole generation met him for the first time with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which really says a lot about his ability to sell very few lines.
Yes.
Was he? I don't.
He's a
Was he an
strategist.
actor before this movie, or was he just a boring economist that they put in this movie, and then he became a celebrity?
He had like a real job.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
he was.
Nixon. He worked in
Yeah.
the Nixon's administration, I thought.
Yeah.
That sounds like
I don't know
feasible.
how he became like a media person.
Right?
Ooh, write it down. We'll check during the
Ben Stein Nixon.
Ben Stein, Nixon to
Maybe-
on-screen vixen.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Best bet he's not going to be attractive in the
Yeah. Cameron's parents are absent. That's kind of his whole deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
He's a depressed,
Especially his dad.
lonely child.
Yeah, because his
Who's
dad.
wealthy.
Yes.
So I think he's also in, maybe this will help us with Ferris Bueller, is he's not as wealthy as a lot of the other. Is this a John Hughes movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of the other John Hughes characters have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, Ferris is relatively middle class. Like his parents drive like pretty boring cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, is that his on the phone voice? He's just pretending to be his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought of that.
He's being Sloane's dad on the phone.
Oh yeah,
Because
because
he
like
has
he's
to
doing
do-
an impression
oh.
of his
But
own
I'm saying
dad.
it's his voice that he uses to be an adult.
Oh, I see.
Just him impersonating his own dad.
Oh,
Oh.
funny! I want to hear for that.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he talks about, I don't know, because he does it a couple times in the movie. He
Mhm.
does his adult man voice a couple
Yeah.
times for
And
different
it is
reasons.
very yacht-like.
Yeah.
Yeah. He uses a lot of jaw.
Okay. Dan's bet. Cameron's adult voice is an impersonation of his own father.
Sure.
Yep. There's a part where he pretends to drown in a pool.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then-
Which one?
Sloan
Cameron.
gets saved. It's Cameron.
Oh.
Cameron, yeah, and then Ferris jumps in and saves him, and he goes, "Ferris Bueller, you're my hero." Because my
Yeah.
brother and I used to always say that.
Yeah. I also remember that.
Yeah. Poor Cameron.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm going to really feel for Cameron.
Oh, I bet I am.
It's a sad
Yeah.
at home
Since
child.
that seems to be the only parts of the movie I remember.
I think even when I watched it, I felt a little bad for him because it was like the attractive couple having fun with each other, and he just wanted to stay in bed.
Yeah.
Like
And-
he was actually sick, right?
Oh yeah.
No,
well,
he's a hypochondriac. He's like, "I'm
Oh.
so sick," and he's like, "No, you're not. Get out of bed. We're going to go do something fun."
That's another reason I'm worried that I'm going to end up like kind of disliking Ferris, because I'm worried a lot of it's just going to be like, hey, rich friend, let us use your resources so that I can have fun with my girlfriend.
Yeah, but I think he genuinely loves Cameron.
For sure. And Cameron definitely likes them.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's just like, I mean, there's still like a weird dynamic there, I think. Maybe under the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is a very fun component to the people who take their car for a joyride.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's an
Oh,
iconic
yeah.
DVD scene.
It is definitely an iconic DVD
of-
scene.
What's the song that plays? Was he like launches off a bump in that car?
Oh, such a
and
great question.
Wild
The valet
eyed
I
driver.
don't remember.
parking attendant
Mhm.
joyriding.
Yeah.
There's like a good
Yeah.
musical drop.
There's
on
two
it.
of them,
I
right?
feel like I
it's
should
like
know that.
two buds.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
they're both parking lot valets,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Everybody has a good day,
Yeah.
except for Cameron's dad.
And Cameron kind of has a weird day.
He
He has an
got a weird
emotionally
day.
complicated day.
But then
does,
he
but-
grows at the end because
Yes.
he's like,
Stands
he's
up
like,
to his
no,
dad.
I need to like face my father.
Yeah.
So
But also, as your mom said, like he'll probably get in a lot of trouble.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
but Ferris will not, because Ferris gets away with everything.
Mhm.
I remember feeling very cool and smart when I realized that the band Save Ferris pulled its name from this movie.
Because of the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Is it on a water tower at some point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can't name any Save Ferris songs.
I never
but
could.
I kind of liked them when they played on the radio a bunch when I was a teen.
Mm.
Ska?
Sure.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Did you quite bet Save Ferris was a ska band?
I guess I knew they were a band, but didn't think that they played music.
If you're a member of the band Save Ferris, please tweet at us and tell us what genre of music you are.
Yeah, because Dan did not write that down.
Feel
He
free
is
to
not
use-
going to come back to
And
it.
feel free to use as many hashtags as you want. I understand that like it's a spectrum. Music is a spectrum of styles.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't mean to shame you into writing it down.
I feel like
It's
you
fine.
kind of did.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, but I know if someone's going to tweet at us, then we don't have to come back to it. Right? Isn't that the point of tweet at us? Is that we don't have
Twitter
to...
is the notes from other people of social media. It's like a note-taking software where you ask people to take notes for you.
For
Yeah.
you.
At
Interesting.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure some college class has been like, we're doing collaborative notes, but they're all on Twitter. Use the hashtag
Right.
Cool Dave Sociology 101.
Amazing.
We'll check it out. We'll see if it's out there.
Yep.
We'll let you know.
Tweet at us, Cool Dave.
Yeah. Sounds cool. This movie also does some good fourth wall breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, even at the very end. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
He's
When he
like,
tells you to go home because the movie's over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the most charming part. I fell in love. I remember being in the theater and watching that.
Is that after the credits or before the credits?
It's like through the credit, like you've watched a bunch of the credits and he says that.
This is like the first Avengers Nick Fury recruiting stinger.
Except telling you to go home.
Yeah.
Do you think he's talking to Nick Fury like every time he's like, "Go home. I don't want to be part of the Avengers."
Why would they put Ferris Bueller in the Avengers?
Because of his
He's
charm.
so charming.
I mean, he's like, if he just could, like, he could sub for Spider-Man.
If anything, he should be recruited directly into S.H.I.E.L.D. because a charmer should be working in like Black Ops, or if she should be working alongside the Black Widow and doing like that kind of shit where she infiltrates places and uses her abilities.
Sure.
Maybe.
Nick Fury does that too, right?
He's
Sure.
just the he's like the HR recruiter.
Yeah. He's just a headhunter.
Avengers.
He makes you
Kinda.
do the Myers-Briggs, see
Yeah.
where you're going to fit in with the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He manipulates you to do things that may be considered war crimes,
Right.
depending on which movie you're watching.
Oh, yeah, man.
Like steal a car.
Yeah,
Ew.
the ultimate war crime.
Well, I don't know. So I'm feeling really hopeful I'm going to enjoy this movie as much as I think I will.
Okay,
What do you think?
what am I?
How many Save Ferris t-shirts do you
Now-
think you're going to give it?
I want to be clear.
Yeah.
Are these Save Ferris T-shirts like in the movie, or are these merch from the band Save
Great
Ferris?
question. Great question.
Yeah, that is a great
You know what?
question.
Let's be authentic here and just go with the from the movie.
Like official T-shirts
Official-
from the set of Ferris Bueller's Day.
Yes, that
Okay.
probably somebody pocketed when they left.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe join the band Save Ferris.
Is that how they got it? They
Yeah,
were like
maybe.
the costumer on Ferris Bueller. Like,
Yeah.
we've got all these extra
Or maybe
Save
like
Ferris
maybe like
t-shirts.
one of their parents was the costumer.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, I just have this box sitting on our attic. Maybe
Wait. Do you think that maybe
Mhm.
Hank Crestorn's son
Oh no.
is in the band Save Ferris?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hank Crestor Jr.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, didn't we already name Hank Crestorn's son?
Oh.
Did we?
Oh, yeah, because I thought he was maybe a ghost at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then maybe it's just intergenerational
Wasn't it like
costuming business.
Tank Crestor or
Oh,
something
yeah.
stupid like that? Bank? Was it Bank Crestor?
Oh, yeah, Bank Crest.
That was his mom's name.
We did a whole family tree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember it. Bank
Oh.
Crestor was definitely
Was
in
that
there.
on patreon.com/totes
Who knows?
I don't know. I don't remember what episode that's
Oh,
on.
Is that-
boy.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life? That's one had a bank.
Oh, that
No,
sounds...
I feel like it was patreon.com/totes because we were playing a game where Hank Crestor and costumes different movies, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And none of us could decide what Hank Crestor sounded like, so we just decided it was different members of the Crestor family.
So if you want to know Hank Crestor's real son's name
Yeah.
And mother's name, I
and
think.
mother's name, you need to go to patreon.com/totesrecall.
.com.
There's not a .com on the end of it.
Probably.
And then hit the
button.
The button.
Yeah.
And it just says, give us money.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. I feel like
You're
Patreon's
smart.
a well-designed
Hey, you're
website.
smart.
Yeah.
You'll find the button.
But yeah, probably he came home.
Who?
Hey, Chris Torn.
Oh, okay.
Hey, family! I got a bunch of extra T-shirts from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and then his son is in there or daughter.
Yep.
I don't know the makeup of Say Ferris.
Nope.
Child.
Yep.
Hey, child of mine.
Yep.
And the
I
child.
love you so
I love
much.
you so much. And he's there rocking, playing ska. He's got like a saxophone and a guitar at the same time.
Whoa.
Yeah. Dancing around in his hat
Multi-talented.
and his checkerboard Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, there's someone who just dances in the band, probably. You want these T-shirts?
That's all they were missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was just the name and the T-shirt
Yep.
merch.
But at first, I'm sure they were just like, "God, shut up, Dad. We don't want your dumb T-shirts." But then they open the box out of boredom.
Yeah. Whoa, Say Ferris, a great band name.
Is that the sound of the kid?
I guess so.
All right.
Sounds like his dad.
He's Benjamin Button disease.
So how many?
Oh, yeah.
how many-
Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm really worried I'm just going to dislike Ferris as a human being, as an adult. So I'm going to only grab a cowardly 3 shirts out of the Hank Crest torn box.
I feel like it would have been a 5 for me when I was a teen, but it can't stay a 5, I don't think. So I think I'm going to go 4 Say Ferris T-shirts, because it's probably going to be worse than I think it is.
And that's probably how many people are in the band.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they each need one.
mhm.
That's a good point.
I am going to be immensely hopeful and give it a 5.
Ooh.
Wow.
I am also very concerned about how it will hold up, but I also, now I'm starting to think that there's more to it than meets the eye. I think I'm going to be surprised by some things, and it's
Uh-huh.
going to have more depth than I anticipate, and then
Mm.
I'll outweigh the problems.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to be thrilled, Ferris. Charm
Awesome.
me.
So my logic is I would start with 5 T-shirts
Mhm.
and I would deduct a shirt and a half for problematic content or feeling impatient with Ferris
Mhm.
and the sadness that would accompany that. Watching this as a full-grown adult. But then I'm going to add a full shirt
Wow.
back
Okay.
for Charlie Sheen.
Wow.
Wow.
So
You really
where are
love
we at?
Charlie Sheen.
Just in a
That's-
nostalgic way.
How many
I don't
shirts
care
are we
for
at?
him currently,
Sure.
I mean, he probably was also bad then.
but I didn't know that.
So
So really, I'm rooting for the 26-year-old Charlie Sheen, or however old he was in this.
You're right.
In mid-20s, early
Yeah.
20s. I don't know.
So it's 4.5
So I'm landing on 4.5.
shirts, so like a belly shirt.
But I feel like there's a pretty high percentage. I'm going to say 70% that Dan Linden's displeasure with the movie will bring down that rating.
Yes.
Maybe as low as 3.5.
I am ready
Wow.
to ruin this movie for all of you.
This might be a new high in amount of ratings
Yep.
you're kind of giving it.
Yep. Yeah. The fact that you actually went through the entire journey but so confidently, you weren't even vacillating. You were explicitly going on this roller coaster to reach a certain rating.
Yep.
Well, I want to show my work.
Hey, you like what you like, right?
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to hit pause. We're going to go watch the movie, eat pizza and 2 salads, and we'll be right back. And we're back. We just watched 1 hour and 42 minutes of cool dads and cool tunes.
All right.
Yeah.
Now that's a pitch.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The movie was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It's true.
It's
It
true.
was.
Welcome back.
It was that.
Released in 1986.
Always go with your first instinct.
Yeah, and if someone doesn't, steal their first instinct. I nailed it.
Wow.
Thank you.
So that means I saw it for the first time in the 6th grade and had a blast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you unsettled by the occasional unexpected profanity?
There was more profanity than
Yeah.
I expected.
The F-bomb was dropped.
Yeah.
Just once, though, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how it's kept its PG rating or whatever.
Yeah, PG-13, I think.
PG-13.
Oh, maybe.
Pre.
This is pre.
Is it?
Gremlins?
So it was
No.
PG.
Wait, is it
No,
pre-Gremlins?
what?
No, or Temple of Doom. 1980. Ugh.
Oh no, we're keep going to layers.
Here's what I think happened in the
Mm.
80s. I think Gremlins and Temple of Doom happened, and they were like, "Oh no, this is confusing. We need another rating."
Mm-hmm.
And then since they just made it up, they didn't quite know what it meant. And then for a good amount of the 90s, you just couldn't say fuck at all in a PG-13 movie. And now it's sort of like you get one, and I
Yeah.
don't know what year. I don't know what year was
Yeah.
the crossover where they're like, okay, you get one.
Well,
I
this
don't
one
know.
had one.
Yeah, but this was before they understood. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was like a arc, like a bell curve, where it was
I think
like
it also has to be like you get one, but it can't be like
sexual.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It has to be an expletive, not a
and there were some
verb.
creative ways of getting around it.
yeah.
There are a couple of just straight up holy shits, which were certainly warranted by the action of the movie.
Certainly.
But then there was also if you took that and dried it out, you could fertilize your garden,
That was good.
which is a long way to go.
It's a
but
good line.
It was a good line.
Yeah. And then they cut one off with the nurse who likes to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it rhymed
Oh
with.
yeah,
though.
it rhymed with pluck.
Yep.
Pluck. Yeah.
Yep. I just, because I brought this up in the first half, I want to put this in context of John Hughes movies,
Okay.
of which there are many. And so for at least the teen version, 16 Candles was 84. Breakfast Club and Weird Science were 85.
Wow.
Ferris Bueller was 86, as was Pretty in Pink. And then Some
Jeez.
Kind of Wonderful brought it all crashing to a close for me in 1987.
Which one
I
was
didn't
that?
realize
Oh, it's a bad one.
Okay.
So boring.
I didn't realize
So
how
boring.
how
Yeah.
tight that was.
Yeah.
He made a lot
So
of
3
movies.
years.
But if you look at his videography, it's insane. And it has
Mm.
so many more movies than I fully realized. Yeah, he's did a bunch of stuff. He did Mr. Mom and all the National Lampoons and all that stuff, I think.
Can you do Home Alone?
Yes.
Yes.
That was 1990.
Yeah. Coming
So,
back.
which is one theory, is that Ferris Bueller is just the teenage version that I just made up. Just
Yeah.
that-
I think it's a very good
I think
theory.
it's-
People
yeah,
are talking
I think
about
There's
it.
a lot of machines that are being built by both.
Oh,
and
they're
voice
both
manipulation.
experts at pulleys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he really, it's impressive the level of homemade electronic things that he puts to use to conceal the fact that he is not there.
Yeah.
He's got he puts one of those 7-inch floppies
Yep.
into his keyboard
Yep.
so that it can make cough noises. And then he's got it also playing on a loop, his snoring playing on a loop through
Yep.
his thing. He's got electronics hooked up to the intercom system to then start the tape and then reset it.
Mhm.
That's impressive.
Well, he also hacked into the school's database and reduced his number of absences.
yeah, in 86,
Yeah.
he did it from his house.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Well, that's the time to do it.
I mean,
When
like
the internet is
But the school
New.
is networked.
I guess even if he were held back a year, DARPA's going to be knocking on his door no matter what.
yeah.
It did me good to watch people using call waiting.
Mm.
It's like, I remember call waiting.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah. I remember when we got that.
It's a big deal.
Tap the little thingy.
Remember when you could convert it into a 3-way call?
No.
Oh, that was
was
advanced.
something.
You had to star something?
I don't remember.
How'd you do
Star
it?
69, baby.
No,
Mhm.
that's
That's
something
callback.
else.
Oh, wait, call back.
There was a point where when I was like a teen of the youngest variety, a millennial of a teen,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You were 13 years old?
something like that. I don't
Okay.
know. Middle school. I feel like
A
there
tween?
was I don't know.
I
Is that
said
what it
tween.
is?
I said it.
Okay, when I was a tween, there was definitely a moment where we thought it was super cool that you could call your friend and then another friend would call that friend as well, and then you did some sort of manipulation of the phone, and then all of you were talking.
Party line.
Party line. We didn't
Yeah.
They had that when I visited the Soviet Union,
Mm.
except it was just the line was available to everyone in the building.
Yeah.
So if you were on a call, anyone could just pick up and listen
Yeah.
to you.
I got tricked, but when I was
No.
in 6th grade,
Oh
Oh.
no.
a friend, I thought,
Oh.
Frenemy.
called me and asked me all these questions of how I felt about this other person in our class, and she was on the line too.
Oh my God.
That is classic middle school meaning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
right.
catfished in the oldest way.
Wow.
That's the absolute
Did you
oldest
say
way to
mean
do it.
things?
I think I did.
Mhm.
I did not like her very much. I
For the
mean, these are
record.
the kinds of things that she did. Is
Yeah,
she
that's
would
bad.
call people.
That's bad. For the record, the oldest way to get catfished is when a guy in pre-revolutionary France pretended to be friends with Marie Antoinette, and with his wife or friend would write fake letters as her.
Is that
Oh.
more?
Is that real?
Uh, That musical,
What?
Les Miserables. You miserable in me again?
No, that's not in that music. I mean, who knows? Maybe the stupid innkeepers are singing about that. That nonsense.
Oh.
We don't know.
It's a completely unnecessary.
Speaking of Europeans,
Yep.
You know,
Uh,
we've skipped the part where we summarized the movie in 60
Oh, we
seconds.
did.
Yeah.
I had a really good segue though.
Oh, no.
No,
Go
it's-
ahead, do
no,
it.
it's
Wait,
too late.
Do the
Molly's
segue,
right.
and then we'll segue back to
We'll
that in a
segue.
seamless way.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Europeans, Molly, you bet Sloane would be British.
Oh.
Anyway, let's do the 60
No,
second
no,
summary.
No,
that's
she's
great. That was
not.
a
And
very
then
good
after
transition.
it, we'll find out if she was or
I
not.
already
okay.
said it.
Fair enough.
I already spoiled it. You can cut my track out of this part.
What?
I already said the answer of whether she's British or not into my microphone.
Oh. Well, none of us heard it, so I guess nobody that's listening to the podcast
Sure,
heard
that's
it either.
definitely how this works.
So, definitely.
I'll do the summary.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, official time.
Yep. And go.
Okay, we start with Ferris Bueller. He doesn't want to go to school. He's sick, but he tricks his parents. They're fooled. His sister is not fooled, though. Then he dicks around at home for a while, gets Cameron to come over. They play a prank on the dean of students to go pick up Sloane, his girlfriend.
This is too detailed.
They get the cool car. Shenanigans happen all over Chicago.
30 seconds.
Chicago.
Oh wow! I was gonna finish right there. All over Chicago, baseball game, art museum, swimming in a pool, going to a fancy restaurant, being in a parade. Everyone's having a good time except Cameron, who has a mental health episode. And in the end,
10
they
seconds.
bust the car up, and things are fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I left out all of the dean of students stuff.
Oh, well,
Anyway, that's what I did.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, and what's interesting is Sloane does in fact have a weird accent at times,
It
Yes.
is weird.
but she
Not
is in
British.
fact from New York. Not
Yes.
British at all.
Yes.
It's
So-
like a cool girl accent.
I don't know. I
It
couldn't place
Honestly,
it the whole time.
it might just be like a weird, I don't know, I feel like that entire region of the country, like there's so many variants of dialects because of the fact that it's been populated by white people for the longest, and it's been populated by so many different classes of white people for the longest, that you can just get the weirdest mixes.
You can, but like sometimes it would be straight up British sounding, and sometimes it would be a little New Jersey. But the way the character is written is a little more casual
Yeah.
than I would say her enunciation.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was a great jacket, though. Great call on the white jacket. with
Solid
fringe.
jacket.
Fringy jacket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real like loose shorts.
Yeah.
And then high white boots.
The
Yeah.
shorts are confusing to me because they look like she put on her like dad's shorts.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're, like, very
that was the
loose.
style.
Like
Dad
loose
shorts.
and I thought she was wearing a skirt,
And,
but
like,
they are shorts.
Neither long nor short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right the worst length.
Yeah.
What?
It's the worst length.
What's the worst
These
length?
are 2019 eyes looking at 1986.
I
What
bet
is
they're
the
super
worst length?
comfortable.
Why is it the worst length?
Oh, it's like, I don't know. It's like above the knee, but not that far above the knee. So it's not like shorts, but it's not like below the knee.
Okay,
Where it's
below
like
the
cool
knee
long
shorts would
shorts?
not
That's
be
insane.
cool.
You didn't wear below the knee shorts when you were a tween?
No, I wasn't like a skater kid or a dickhead or all the other weird,
Motorhead.
all the other weird.
Burnout.
No, like when when
Grace.
Grace, his whatever
Sure.
role or title her job is, I don't know.
School
What was it?
secretary,
Desk
school
Prostitute.
Oh,
No.
bad.
School desk.
She was like,
prostitute.
No.
there's a point where she's listing how Ferris Bueller is so popular, and she starts listing all of the different subgroups of the school, and one of them was just the dickheads, and like
Wasn't one of them sluts? Too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like the whole time she's going that list, I kept thinking like, are these her distinctions, or are there
No.
actually groups of kids self-identifying as sluts
Yes.
and dickheads?
Yes.
She did not identify cowboys, though, unfortunately.
Yes. True Totes heads will remember from an earlier episode.
Like a month ago.
I don't know.
2 months ago.
Hey,
Okay.
you know what? Some people, my wife, don't listen to these right away. So maybe it's been a while. Maybe they're listening to them out of order.
Wow.
I'm just trying.
bragging about his wife.
My
He
wife,
doesn't listen.
who doesn't actively support my show.
It sounds like someone's wife's got a lot going on in their life.
Oh my God. Now she's going to yell at me for throwing her under the bus when she listens to this half a year from now. What was I saying?
Oh, cowboys.
Oh, yeah, there should be cowboys in this school, as we learned in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yep.
They are the greatest
Clique.
subgroup of high school students.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a group called the Dickheads, and I want to know more.
I want to know more about them. I just want to say I loved Grace so much. She played, she's just such a classic
Oh, she was so good.
Midwestern
Oh my
character.
God.
And the whole thing is really a love letter to the Midwest and specifically to Chicago.
Yeah.
Please.
Chicago. Hey, go Sacks.
Oh, no, and I forgot to write down the actress's name.
Oh, it was like
I'm a real jerk.
Debbie
Edie?
Edick. What's in her last name? Like Edguck or
Derby.
something?
But she's
Derby
been in-
Eggberg.
What?
Her name is Derby Egbert.
Derby Eggberg. Yep,
on.
that's it.
Come on.
Famous character actor Derby Eggberg
She's
crushes
been in
it.
90 films.
Holy
and in
shit.
55 TV episodes. And it's
Wow.
like
What?
every
Whoa.
TV show you've ever heard of from the 80s and 90s.
She was
Yeah.
great.
When we
She's so
first
good.
meet her, she pulls a pencil
Oh
out of her
my
hair
God, that was
Oh, so
amazing.
good.
and then proceeds to discover 2 to 3 more
Yeah.
that are still in her
And
hair.
she's so perplexed.
yeah.
Like, where did these come from?
That's great.
My favorite part is when she is trying to pretend to be Rooney on the phone, and she's like, oh.
There is a whole protracted couple of scenes with Rooney, who's the dean of students, not
Yes.
the principal, as we had remembered earlier.
Is there a
Um,
difference?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like principal's like in charge of the whole thing, but the dean of students is like responsible for like
So
making sure they're
there's a
not ditching
principal at
school.
that school too?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
But I think it makes sense because like the dean of students would have time
sure.
to like leave school and go
Sure.
try to
Is
follow
that like the
truancy.
same as is it just like a vice principal, but a fancy school?
I think it's just a really big school.
We didn't have any deans at my
Yeah,
high school.
we just had vice principals.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we never had a
Oh.
dean of any kind.
If you're a dean of
Yeah.
a high school,
Yeah,
not a
not-
college level.
Right. Or just named dean.
Right. I mean,
Unless you're dean.
if you're
Kane.
named dean
Kane.
and are also a dean, definitely tweet at
Oh
us.
yeah.
Dean,
Hashtag
dean?
double dean.
Double
Double
dean.
dean.
Yep.
Oh,
God,
that'd be so
amazing.
cool.
There's got to be a dean out there who's also a dean.
Oh,
Yeah.
no question.
Yeah.
Statistically,
Yeah.
there has to be.
But I am just saying,
Yes.
if you find yourself at a hotel room or something and Ferris Bueller is on, just stay for the first 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Give yourself that gift.
Yeah, the Grace and Rooney moments
Are really
Oh,
fantastic.
that dynamic where they're on the phone and like running back and forth.
Oh, it heightens
Yeah.
so well. And
So good.
she yes and so beautifully.
Mhm.
Like everything he's into, she's like, yes.
Hmm.
And she's so honest, just brutally, sweetly honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Oh,
love her.
Derby.
What's her last name again?
Eggberg.
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 Derby Eggberg.
Our apologies.
You previewed this in your slight editorializing of the movie, but the dad energy, as I bet,
Oh,
is
man.
fantastic.
Yeah, you were
It's
correct.
very good.
You
And
were
it really
very
like
correct.
you get a little bit at the beginning, but he
Like a
really
taste, you get a taste.
brings it home at the
Yeah.
end,
Uh-huh.
where he's driving back. There's a fun romp of a chase scene.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It's a chase scene. It's more of a race. I
Yeah,
guess,
it's a race.
Mhm.
where Ferris is trying to beat his sister and mom and dad home to keep up the charade.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez.
But yeah, that dad's just like driving and he's like half singing to himself. He gets a tic tac and he's into that. He almost hits a cab and then just like finger guns at
The
it.
finger guns on this guy were
Oh,
incredible, just nonstop.
Yeah, he's just living his dad life.
He even did it over the phone.
Yes.
Love you, pal.
Oh yeah, he did like a little like fist bump over the phone when he's talking to his son and just like, "Hey, feel better, bud," and just like
Calls
does
him
a
pal all the
does a
time.
little like punch in the air.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
He was great.
he was really
really
good.
It was some serious good dad energy.
Good dad energy.
I appreciated his parents for being like just like good, nice parents.
mhm.
Like they were tricked and that was their thing, but like they're both doing jobs. They're
Yeah.
like professional parents that seem to have just a nice, good marriage and we're fine.
Mhm.
Everything's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not presented as like complete buffoons.
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just They were nice and fine.
Yeah, it's like Ferris really gets the credit for being manipulative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, it's not like, oh, they're so dumb.
Yeah.
Although he even acknowledges, like, that was my worst performance ever, and it still worked.
Yeah.
That is, I did find Ferris to be annoying, but I didn't find him. The most annoying I found him is when he was pretending to be sick. When he's like he literally is like making that noise. And he like pretends to like bite his dad's hand at one point. Yeah. Oh, my blanket. He talks like a baby. It's annoying.
But he probably understands how his parents' brains work. And it's like, oh, empty nest syndrome is it's encroaching upon us.
Triggering their brains from when he was actually a baby and then go into fuller caretaker mode.
Yep.
Ugh.
He should be in one of those acronym organizations.
Oh.
Like a CIA or an
okay.
NSA
Yes.
or an FBI.
DARPA.
With his ability to fool people.
Yes.
He can run well. He can make gadgets to trick people.
And as we learned from the movie Men in Black, being able to run well, very important for government work.
Yes, exactly. He's just like, I feel like he's got a lot of spy training. He even introduces himself in the style of James Bond.
That's true.
Yeah, he will probably grow up to, like, I don't know, murder a Afghani warlord or something.
Oh, dear.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, though, I think he would be so bored, like, as working a regular 9-to-5 job.
Definitely.
He'd have a hard time, but I think he'd also have a really hard time with the structure of the State Department.
That's true.
Or any of the
I bet
acronym
he
places.
starts his own ad agency.
There you go.
Or his own mercenary company.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Like Blackwater.
Yeah, or he's like a John Wick type.
Or he goes to work straight for Pepsi.
God, they're so good.
He works for
Sidebar?
Pepsi?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Pepsi
There's
So
products.
a
many
lot of
Pepsis.
Yeah.
What's your sidebar?
Quick sidebar, John Wick is amazing.
Okay.
John Wick 3 is maybe my favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really good.
Where do 1 and 2 sit on there?
I can't remember them.
Okay, great.
They're great. I enjoyed them.
Awesome.
One's probably better than 2.
Okay, good to know.
I was expecting to hate Ferris more. I did find him really annoying at the beginning, and I was glad he had some comeuppance and some growth towards the end.
Did he
Kind of did, yeah. Cameron punked him pretty hard. He was genuinely scared for his friends.
Cameron, he treats Cameron so poorly.
Yeah, I feel like I couldn't get one over by Ferris because of his relationship with Cameron.
Say more.
Like, I found Ferris amusing at times, but Cameron is like clearly very depressed and has a very troubled home life. And Ferris acknowledges that. He understands that. And like, he clearly cares for Cameron in some way, but he also like does push him a lot for his own gain.
Well, yeah, it's like, it's almost from a place of privilege because like we do get to
Yes.
see his home life, and it's like the worst thing that happens there is that his sister and he don't get along, right?
I asked for a car and I got a computer.
Yeah. Which then he learned to hack with.
Yeah.
There's another skill.
Exactly. I don't know. And I just feel like Cameron has his moment of growth where he's just like, oh, I got to stand up to my dad and like, you know, be okay with myself or whatever. But I don't feel like Cameron's moment of self-actualization justifies Ferris's means to get to that end. Like, he acknowledges that he's trying to get Cameron to like live a little and get outside of his little world, but he does it in such a, I don't know. I
don't think you're acknowledging Ferris Bueller's limited tool set, right? Like, he's got a great tool set for manipulating the adult world and not a great tool set for helping his friend he's been best friends with since the 5th grade. Like, he doesn't have a good understanding of what Cameron's actually going through, and he doesn't have that many tools for like, as a 17 or 18-year-old kid, for like what to do.
Yeah. He also probably has not encountered a lot of challenges in his life.
Right.
And so has not had to develop any skills to overcome things like a lot of us white men.
Yep.
And so, yeah, he basically just focuses on himself more. I think he's the least interesting character in this movie.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Well, that's what, like, when I watched it, the last time I watched it, probably when I was a teenager, like, I liked Ferris the most out of everybody.
Yeah.
I thought he was the most fun and charming and entertaining. But, like, this time when I watched it, I was like, oh, I can relate to that person, and I can relate to that person. And
yeah, everybody around him has more of an arc and more going on. Like, he just kind of like wants to get out of school and have a fun day and does it.
Yeah.
And like Cameron comes to this big realization. Even his sister also like somewhat comes to that, like pushes up against her mom and like makes out with Charlie Sheen and kind of realizes she needs to focus on her own shit and reconciles with her brother to a degree. Even Sloane has that moment in front of where the bean will be, as we talked about, of talking with Cameron of like, neither of us know what we want to do. Like she even has that moment. And like, I feel like everybody around him has some growth in the movie and he's just like, we had a good day. Fun. Which is fine. It's just interesting to think how he's just sort of this force that moves through the movie, affecting other people and remains unchanged.
Yeah. I think part of it also is like, part of it is just it's like, part of it is the harsh eyes of 2019, but also I think part of it is just that it's been that many decades since the movie came out, where I think I'm just like, at this point, I'm so bored by movies about like stinker white dudes just getting away with shit. You know what I mean? Because like so many comedies have leaned into that since this movie of just kind of like, hey, I'm kind of an asshole, but whatever, it's my movie. Boop, 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 boop. And they just kind of get away with stuff. And people don't, I don't know, they just like, there's so many movies like that where like they don't face consequences because it's a comedy.
Right.
And that's the whole, I don't know. So I think I'm just bored by it now. Like I definitely, when I saw this when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, Ferris is great. This is fun. But now I'm just kind of like, he's kind of a prick. And like, he doesn't realize, like I think part is like, he doesn't have enough self-awareness to be interesting, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Even though he talks to the camera about his own life, he just never, I don't know. I just feel like him willing to take the heat for breaking the car is not the same as him being like, sorry, I've manipulated you and pushed you just like your dad has been doing your entire life, which is what I got from Cameron's realization. Like, oh, Ferris is doing that to you too, but maybe in a nicer way.
Yeah, it was like the fact that he could stand up to Ferris meant that he could stand up to his dad. Because he said like, you think, what did he say? You think that Ferris Bueller can't be...
Yeah, he's like, even Ferris Bueller can be stopped or something like that.
Yeah. That he acknowledged he had some agency. And I do think Ferris, like, in addition to taking the heat or whatever, he's genuinely scared at the end when he's confronting Rooney in the back door.
Yes.
Like, he genuinely is afraid that the whole thing is going to come crashing down before his sister saves him.
Yeah.
And I think I think he shows a lot more vulnerability at the end, because the beginning he is just totally... It's just about like, how do I get what I want to do? I will also just say this for Ferris Bueller, and I can't believe I'm defending him so hard right now. I don't know what's going on, but I guess I'm defending my childhood, honestly. But I do think it's significant that he didn't just take a day off for himself. It was important to him to have the people, his best friend and his girlfriend, with him, and busting them out of whatever prison they were in, be it school or prison of your own sad mind.
Doesn't he just need an audience, though?
Just what?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, you need an audience. Yeah.
I mean, with
for
that
his
vest,
foolishness.
he's clearly wanting attention.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Like, there's the scene where he does go too far and he gets called out on going too far. And it was really interesting because, like, there's no such thing as going... It was at the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's really pushing hard. In a way, it's super uncomfortable for everybody. Like, how are you going to enjoy this meal?
That is when I wrote down White Privilege, the movie. When he was like, fine, call the police. I'll call them. I'm just like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Like, imagine him doing that with slightly different skin in a Starbucks.
Oh, forget it.
Yikes.
Wouldn't get that far. But yeah, so I don't know. I think he had a little bit of an arc. I could have gone with more, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen plenty of these movies.
Yeah. And, like, I think it's like, it just felt like the movie, it felt like through Cameron and his sister, the movie was kind of like being like, hey, don't, like, I feel like it was almost like reacting to people like my attitude, like, don't worry about it. Like, who cares about Ferris being a kind of an asshole who gets whatever he wants? Like, just deal with your own shit, which is like fair enough, but also, like, again, it's 2019. Maybe some very confident white men should face consequences sometimes, just so they know that they can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Because, his sister faces weird consequences, right? She gets a ticket and she,
I think
she gets dragged down to the police office, which that's wild to me that she gets taken down to the police precinct because she called 911 and they just didn't believe her.
Yep.
Like, that's it, right?
I feel like, yeah,
because
he was gone by the time that the police got there, so there wasn't. But it's like, that's not how home invasions work. They don't just like hang out until the police get
Yeah.
there.
I mean, believe women, am I right?
That.
Yeah.
When I was a boy, my friend and I once called 911 at a payphone because we were dumb little kids
Mhm.
at the, I think it was like at the skating rink or something.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah. So we were like in the, what do you mean of course it was? Oh, because we're in
You're
Minnesota?
skate kids.
Oh my God.
Grinding ledges,
What?
doing ollies.
No, skating rink. Ice skating.
Oh. That's less
More like
badass.
triple axle.
Yeah, doing
axles.
axles.
It was really more just like,
Lutz
oh, they
it up.
flooded this they flooded the field next to the playground in the winter. I guess we'll go around in a circle real fast. Anyway, we were dumb enough. We were young and dumb enough to think like, oh, if you just like hit another one, it like doesn't go through or something like that. You know what I mean? Or maybe that kid maybe it was like a neighborhood kid who just tricked me and told me that. I don't remember.
Kids are
Anyway,
mean.
we called 911, and of course we were just like, oh, and hung up.
Yeah.
And then of course a cop showed up anyways, and we were just like, okay, see ya or whatever. And then he's just like, oh, and he's like, in that situation, and maybe it was because we were just like clearly just two little kids. He was just like, hey guys, this is serious. Like you can't just like don't call that because like I had to come out here. I could be doing something. Like I could be actually helping somebody right now. We were just like, okay, Mr. Policeman. And then he just sent us on our way.
Yeah. Also white privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big time. Yeah, teens,
Hey.
if you accidentally call 911, remain on the line and tell them you accidentally dialed 911. There is no emergency.
Yes, and be like, no one is telling me to say this.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
I definitely don't have someone standing who is 6'1".
There is not a gun against my head.
I am in no way under distress.
Right.
Yeah, just be really detailed with it, and that will help.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my little sister liked to play with the phone when she was a baby
Uh-huh.
because it's, fun buttons
little
that make a
buttons.
beep noise.
Yep.
And we always tried to like, she'd pick it up and you'd like push star or whatever.
Yeah.
So basically nothing would happen.
Yeah.
But she definitely called 911 once.
Ooh.
And like
Oh,
no
wow.
one knew until police showed up. And they were like,
Can we
I don't-
talk to the baby of the
Yeah.
house, please?
because essentially, yeah, we died on one and then hung up, right?
Right.
Without knowing. So they came in and I don't think they came in, but like there was definitely a moment of them trying to assess if whoever answered the door was lying
Yeah.
and it was actually an invader.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Again, white privilege.
Oh my gosh, I never even thought about that. Terrifying. Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, no, everything is fine here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jean, his sister, was my favorite character in this watching of the movie.
Really?
hmm I think she, part of it probably because I spent the whole time being like, oh, Ferris is a little shit. So like, I related to that element of her. But I also, I don't know, like because I feel like when I watched it, when I was younger, I thought of her as just being like, I don't know, like she, like on paper, it just seems like she's like the archetype of just like, oh, she's just like the annoying sister.
Yeah,
But like
just trying to
when you,
ruin his fun.
yeah, but
Yeah.
then when you actually watch, it's like, oh no, she's actually completely in the right, and like clearly Ferris's ability to manipulate their parents has caused no end of strife for her because she's just like by default the bad kid of the two of them because she can't manipulate them the same way. So
And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because she
Mhm.
gets more surly and more angry, and they
Yeah.
have a different reaction to her, and
Yeah.
it just compounds over time.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Also-
were trying to figure out while we were watching the movie if they're the same age.
Right.
And it just occurred to me because, okay, so Ferris is a senior.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's also at the high school. So she has to be at least
16
16
because she
Because
drives.
she drives.
because she drives. So that would make her a sophomore at least, right?
Mhm.
Probably a
But
junior.
why did she get a car before he did if she's the younger one?
Well, he got a computer.
So the senior gets the computer, the junior
Well,
gets
it's probably
a car?
on like the 16th birthday. You get a car or a computer.
And they were like, patriarchy, give him the computer.
So he can educate himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because women can't do
maybe
STEM.
but they're not
Honestly,
twins. They could have
I
been
don't know.
twins.
They could be
I-
twins. I would believe
wonder if
I
they're
would buy it.
twins.
If they're
Guys
twins.
that
Yeah,
got
I would buy the
Yeah,
twins.
they don't say it in the movie, which seems strange. But
Mhm.
like, if you were twins, like imagine how you would be even more angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh, this is how like male privilege works.
Mhm.
Like
They're
yeah.
investing in his future and my right now.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I realized watching it this time, like every single scene she's in, her frustration is justified.
Mhm.
Like she's not like the annoying sister.
She's pretty mean to Grace, the school administrator,
Sure,
for no reason.
but like I would imagine I'd imagine her experience in the past with her relationship with Ferris, who's such a righteous dude, as Grace says, is she probably has had that same experience where authority figures at the school are like, very forgiving of Ferris, and she just like anything that happens to her is sort of in
Yeah.
comparison to her brother.
Right. No. Yep. And Grace does dish out a little bit.
She,
Ooh,
have
she's
to
got a little
say.
sass.
she's got some stuff. She
got
calls
some-
Jean a little asshole after she leaves the office.
That's true. But she gets her little sass while she's there too, which is very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Means it's personal and none of your business.
Mhm.
When Jean kicks the dean of students in the
Oh my
face
God,
3 times,
so good.
it's amazing.
Those are some
I
good
think it's
kicks.
just one kick that they played over and over.
Oh,
Like
oh, okay.
It was 3 kicks.
I was.
you think she lifted her leg up to her head, down, up,
No,
down,
she
up,
bent
down.
at the knee.
Yeah, so it's like whop pop, whop pop, whop pop.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
either way, it's very
sure.
impressive.
And
Yeah.
also,
It was the same sound effect 3
we've
times.
seen Dirty Dancing. We know what her body is capable of.
Yeah, she
Nobody
It's
puts baby in a
ferocious.
corner.
Yeah, she whoops the shit out of
Oh,
him.
so good.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remembered like that. I don't know, the camera work of her sneaking in her wrestling shoes,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
on the hardwood floor, really like is burned into my brain. And
Mhm.
seeing it back again, it's like, oh, just I don't know, that shot really did it for me.
That's something that I've never noticed before in this movie is just like the shots that they have,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
they're incredible. Like in the scene where the car goes out of the back of the garage, there's Cameron falls over and the camera is moving backward like it's from the car, and so he like is pushed away from it. It is literally like a 2-second like shot, but they like took a camera and had it like I mean, there are just some amazing things there.
And then right after that, the camera takes the point of view of Cameron, which is so cool.
Yes.
Like him walking through.
Yep,
Mhm.
and then it's down on the ground, like from where the car is,
Yeah.
like the woods. Like, yeah, they went above and beyond and got some really amazing shots.
It really
Yeah.
personified the car.
There
Yeah.
were a lot
Yeah.
of interesting
Their
shots
sibling
throughout
rivalry.
the movie. What?
Oh,
was their sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, they're
The
both
car
red.
and- but the car and Cameron.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah, totally. The car is his Ferris Bueller.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, car gets priority and gets away with, I guess, not doing anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
But gets all the attention.
But gets all the attention and the mending and the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And I know they were trying to hint at the idea that Cameron's problem was his parents, and as soon as he got out of the house, he would do better. But it really felt like Cameron's problems were much deeper.
Yeah,
than
I
that.
feel like
Mhm.
Cameron needs therapy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Hey, everyone needs a little bit of therapy.
am I right?
You are right.
Yeah.
Teens, go get therapy.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's just maintenance and preventative health care.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with you.
No.
Just help. You need a little help.
Yeah.
We all need a little help.
Tweak those neural connections.
Yeah.
Or just wait until you're 29 or 30.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the schedule a lot of people are on.
it is.
Wait until what?
A lot of people wait until like they're 29 till let's say 31 or 32 before they go seek therapy.
Oh, sure.
Because in your 20s, you're like, I got this.
Yeah.
But isn't that
And
the
you don't
stigma
got
that
it.
we're trying to break right now by telling these teens to go
I
help
don't know.
themselves?
Yeah,
I don't know.
these-
Would you have listened to anybody when you were 22?
I don't know. Maybe some cool movie podcasters on the internet.
Handful of rad 35-year-olds just dishing about movies from
That's
before you were
right.
born.
Old millennials.
Yeah, basically. But
Hey.
I say, I don't know. I wish someone that I respected told me to go to seek therapy when I was like
Really? Would you
22.
have gone?
I don't know.
I feel like
I'm not saying I would have, but I wish someone had at least offered the opportunity.
my memory is there was such a but I feel like it really is just an extension of being in your 20s that you think you can handle everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then when shit goes wrong and you're not feeling great,
Mm-hmm.
you finally can overcome that
Mm-hmm.
sense of that thing. Because I remember talking about therapy with my friends in their 20s, and they would just be like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
In the same way you'd be like, I don't need my parents, or I don't
Yeah.
need.
To exercise.
Stigma.
Stigma.
My experience with it was that like you have something to do until you graduate from college, or you know what I
Yep.
mean, and then
Yep.
then you start working, and then you're like, yeah, I'm still doing the thing, and then you're like, wait, no, things aren't better because I'm doing this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no next thing.
Yeah.
No easily discernible next thing to
Yeah.
It's certainly the next thing that seems fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's less fun.
Yeah, it's just retirement, maybe.
Whoa.
is
Teens,
maybe?
turn off the podcast right now.
Okay.
Just those goddamn baby boomers sucked up all the resources.
Oh,
Leave us with a
Oh, I thought
burned
you meant that
shell
you
of
would die before you retired.
Oh god.
I mean,
It's a possibility as
Maybe.
well.
I mean, we'll all be in the Amazon fulfillment centers by the time we're 50. So.
Yeah.
Yay!
Anyway, it sounds like we're probably gonna have to write a Ferris Bueller movie to like live vicariously through our fictional teen selves.
Yeah.
Which I assume is what this movie was, right? Just John Hughes being like, "Oh man, I can't believe I'm whatever age he was when he made this movie."
Wait, is
Maybe
Office
40?
Space Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but in the middle of your working career?
Maybe.
Kind of,
Kinda.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, except for he doesn't really go back to work.
Yeah, and he doesn't
Yeah.
embezzle money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. There's some differences.
I mean, he
But I
steals
think
a car.
the fantasy is the same,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Like at its core, the fantasy is dropping out of your everyday in order to experience actual life.
Yes. And
Yeah.
both movies have incredible dance sequences.
Yes.
Yeah. There was that incredible dance sequence. There's a couple moments in this movie where the sort of the style swapped weirdly for me.
What do you mean?
Mhm.
Like it's a pretty standard John Hughes teen, I don't know, normal movie.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then like there's just like a dance sequence that happens, like a
Yes.
fully choreographed dance sequence that happens. And then there's that one. And then when they're in their art museum, it's like all these like just slow pans of art and then just like quick cuts of them standing in different positions, like a
Mhm.
music video. And they just felt stylistically different than the rest of the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
I love
Detours.
those parts.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, but it,
But that was also the comedy, right? Because you're watching, and it looks like normal scenes, and then you see the characters, right? So like
Yes.
the little kids all holding hands running, and then you're
Mhm.
not expecting to see the three characters
That was
join
fun.
in, and then you're looking at artwork, and then you realize that they're looking at artwork. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting the way he played with the perspective of the viewer.
Mhm.
It was really fun, and I love that you sort of get into Cameron's head at the art museum as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? The famous
Yeah.
picture when he's looking at the pointillism at the park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's
something
called
about
Picnic
the
at the
park.
Park?
Something at the park.
That scene stands out to me. Like, that's one that I think about when I think about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it probably
Yeah.
helped that you were like, I've been to this museum. I've seen that piece of art. I've seen that piece of art.
Yeah, but I didn't see it until last year.
Oh.
So,
Did you
you
walk
think
in there
about
and you
it,
were like,
Ferris Bueller's Day
Ferris
Off when you're-
Bueller.
Yes.
yes, I did think about that.
Wow.
to expand your mind like it did to Cameron.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I really learned about life
Mhm.
and what it's all about.
But then your dad's car, its miles wouldn't go back, and you were in a moment of existential crisis.
Yeah, and then I fell into a pool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My best friend saved me.
Well, you
Well,
pretended to.
I pretended that I was dying, but
Yeah.
I was fine.
What are we
And it
supposed
helped
to?
your best friend grow a little. He
Mhm.
actually had
Yeah.
felt fear.
What are we supposed to take from that scene? Was that just Cameron? Like,
I think both with his sister getting the upper hand on Rooney and
Mhm.
with Cameron getting the upper hand on Ferris.
Mhm.
I think in both scenarios they were dishing out what they had been taking,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And so conceivably Jean, his sister, has never gotten away with anything before this.
Right.
And she gets away with it spectacularly. She not only gets to kick him in the face, but she finds his wallet and gets
Mhm.
to lord it over him in a way that she clearly has not won with authority in the past.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
and,
then I
also
would say,
she gets to disrupt his plans of getting Ferris. Like that's
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah, and then with Cameron, like intentionally dropping into the pool and intentionally, like, because you see his face when he's going down into the water, there's a little smile in it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like he changes his mind. He's always been like fucking with Ferris.
Yeah.
In the same way that Ferris has been messing with him, or you know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
actually making him scared for the
Mhm.
first time. Like, we never see Ferris scared.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I sort of thought that was a big deal. But whatever. I don't know. It was all really hard.
What?
I don't
It's
know. Like, I
hard.
think the Cameron stuff was hard. And I
Mhm.
think rewatching it and seeing the scene right before the Ferrari, is it a
Mhm.
Ferrari?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes out the back window of the beautiful, immaculate glass
Right?
garage.
Yeah.
I don't know how you set that up, but okay, whatever. I was like, oh, no wonder I was so mad when my mom was like, this isn't very realistic, because Cameron was standing up to his parents and to authority for the first time. And it's a really emotionally resonant, interesting scene.
Yes.
Had she said that like during the parade or some shit, you'd be like,
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. You know,
It's
not very realistic. But the idea of Cameron standing up to his dad is just like, maybe that part is realistic, even if the car, whatever.
At least like, his emotions are real.
Mm-hmm.
And the emotions, like kind of hearkening back to what we were talking earlier, Ferris and Sloane, like their reactions of like, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what to say or do except for just like let our friends say these things out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because like they both are like,
Yeah, I guess it is a legit too far moment, right?
Yeah, it's almost like the most effectively shitty point of the movie to say this isn't realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is.
Like it's like these kids,
These kids self-actualizing a little bit.
Yeah.
And
realizing
like,
they can be free of their parents' toxicness.
Yep.
Yeah. Not very realistic.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I will say this triggered a different memory for me and another memory. And if I've shared it before, I apologize. I'm sure someone will just tell me.
How would we know?
We don't know yet. We couldn't know yet. But I hadn't noticed before that Ferris thinks it's a big deal to give $5
yeah.
Yes.
to the valet.
Yes.
Like it probably costs $50 to park there, right?
Right.
And at the end, I think he gives him another like couple bucks or $5 or whatever. And the guy says, "You are a very generous individual."
Yeah.
And it triggered for me my first actual date with this guy. And he was very nice. He was a very nice person. This is not a slam on him at all. This is just a picture of what it was like to be about 16 or 17 and go on a date.
I love it.
And we went to this restaurant. We were like one of the few people there. And this waiter really doted on us. And he could tell that we were on a date and stuff. And so he'd make jokes and tried to make us feel comfortable and like just took a little extra time, which was fine, whatever. And at the end of the meal, like I realized that my date wanted to pay for the meal and also didn't seem to have a lot of experience with restaurants, which was fine. But I started to get that like nervous feeling. You know, when you're nervous, you're like, oh God, they're not gonna tip. I can just feel it. And also he had to stand up and get up from the table and leave like before the guy brought the bill. So we like walk into the bar area and the guy's like, oh, I was just about to bring you your bill. And it was like $19 and maybe some change. And my date just slams down $20 like it's $100 bill and says, keep the change and leaves. And
wait, leaves without you?
No, leaves with me.
Okay.
But like has tipped this guy on a $19 order like 80 cents.
Yeah, at best.
At best. And I was just stricken because I think, you know, I'd also had a lot of part-time jobs. Like I just knew. And so I made an excuse to come back in. I said, oh, I forgot something. And I went in and I hurriedly gave the waiter like a few bills. I don't remember what, I have no idea what I gave him, but something. And instead of saying thank you to me, the waiter had like, he'd like transformed into somebody with like dark circles under his eyes. Instead of saying anything at all nice to me, he said, your friend's real magnanimous. You know what that means? And I was like, yeah, I studied for the SAT. I left. It's like real magnanimous. You know what that means? I'm like, yeah, there's no reason for you to be shitty to me, the person who's come back to try to rectify the situation without embarrassing anyone.
Yeah.
If you dried you out, you could fertilize your garden with it.
Great line by Jean.
Great line by Jean. Really talented. Really talented at finding a way to curse in front of her parents.
Yeah, right.
Have I told that story before?
I don't think so. I was
Oh,
on the
man.
edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, thanks a lot, waiter.
Yeah.
And also, like, you had a lot of other tables.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on that night. It was a Wednesday. Things didn't go anywhere. We never dated again. It was just the one date.
Because of that?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I really don't know why. I probably was so nervous that I was acting like a super weirdo. but I had kind of already decided his last name was Fibercorn. So I was like, well, we're definitely not getting married. Because that's how you think about things when you're like 17 or whatever.
Wow.
But he is a super, super cool guy.
A hedge fund manager now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Fibercorn industry.
Oh, what business do you think Ferris's dad
yes.
has? Because we see him
Advertising.
doing.
Is it?
You think so?
Yeah, 1,000%. Because he's trying
Okay.
to talk the guy into like putting more ad dollars against his product.
He said more TV, more radio, or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed it.
I feel
I
like the guy
also
was
missed
trying
that.
to cheap out on not buying advertising.
So we see him doing business.
Yeah.
He's like glad-handed and getting in cabs.
Mm-hmm.
A real businessman.
Yep.
Much like Ferris, real people person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I realized while watching the movie that I have acquired a dumb human trick because of that movie.
What?
Really?
You know, because Cameron can make that water drop noise.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
And so I really loved this movie in high school, and as did my friend Ellen. And so we would like sit in physics together and just like try to make that noise in the back of
What
class.
noise were we talking about?
Wow. That was not a computer.
Yes.
That was
Wow.
actually Beth.
People at home.
Yeah.
That was
really
not
happened.
digitally added.
We
Pretty
did
good.
not insert a 7-inch floppy into the podcast recorder and play our keyboard.
Or
droplet.
water drop
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
keyboard.
So
Wow.
I can do that amazing thing.
That's awesome.
That is
because of this
amazing.
movie.
Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you, Cameron.
I remember pulling like swing bada 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 from this. I'd never heard that
Yeah.
before.
This got some Cracker Jack lines.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron's adult voice was not based on his dad. There was never a line
don't
to
think
indicate.
so?
I just mean there was never a line that explicit. I thought there was a specific
yeah.
line that indicated that it was his dad.
I loved that theory. Like it put it in place.
I mean, it's certainly the voice of a guy who would own that garage.
yeah.
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 Yeah, for sure.
Rooney, goddammit.
Yeah, it's really
It's like
good.
entirely out of the side of
Oh,
his
it's
face.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Beth, speaking of things you can do,
Yeah.
What?
you also
Got
bet
skills.
that Wayne Newton sang the
Oh, yeah.
Demolition song as a child and he sounded like a woman.
Yes.
Partial credit?
Knocked it out of the park, I'd say.
What do you mean partial
He
credit?
wasn't a child.
Oh,
He's
but
young. I
the
said
essence of
young
it.
Wayne
Well,
Newton.
he said child.
Yeah, he wrote down baby or something.
Yeah,
child.
that's true. That's just the
It's not
patriarchy.
my fault.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But yeah, it's a
It
young
is
Wayne
Wayne
Newton,
Newton.
and it, I mean,
That's the
Checks
song.
out.
sounds like
A lady.
conventional
Lady song.
woman.
I thought it was a woman singing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally thought it until you said that out
Yep.
loud.
Yep.
So,
Great
Good job.
Thank
yeah,
you.
good job.
Speaking
Thank
of other
you
bets
very
that got
much.
knocked out of the park, I bet the dog would eat the principal's crotch.
Did that get knocked out of the park?
Well, I think if you listen to the sound effects at the very end after the doors closed,
Uh-huh.
There were 5 sound effect
It
editors for
sounds-
this movie.
So,
So your theory
mhm.
is that he got his
oh, I guess we see him get a
crotch.
bus
Yeah,
after.
exactly. He got his crotch eaten by a dog,
Uh-huh.
and then he just shuffles back towards school to get picked up by maybe my favorite character in the movie,
Oh, yeah.
the lady
She's
bus
really
driver.
good.
Just like, hey, Rooney, where you going?
Yeah.
You
I
getting in a fight?
I forgot we see him again. I didn't
Yeah.
nail it.
Okay.
yeah.
I was trying to overcome with my white man confidence.
Yep. Ooh, Molly, do you want to talk about how he attempted to murder that dog?
Yeah, he knocked
Oh,
that dog out with a flower
my
pot, and you
God.
sat there.
Yeah.
Comatose.
Yeah, but you
and
just
in
like
shock.
sat through it. I've never seen you be that neutral about animal
I was not
harm.
neutral. I was horrified.
But,
But I was
like,
also
inside?
too tired to stand up.
Mm.
And also, I felt like the way the cut worked,
Mhm.
I could understand that it was a actor dog that was just lying down in a way that, like, had we seen the impact or something?
Yeah.
Sure,
Sure.
sure. It's not like he
That-
saw a gun in a calf's mouth.
Right.
I
Oh
mean,
my
that
God.
was out.
And you don't hear like there. You don't even. I don't think you even hear like a.
You don't even hear the
bass
break. You just
sounds.
see, and at first you're like, oh, he drugged the dog,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh my gosh, he broke a thing
Yeah.
over the dog's head.
Yeah.
Until tonight, I thought that he drugged the dog.
Like
I thought they were like
flowers
some
having-
sleepy flowers
Yeah.
or something.
Lotus blossom
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Poppy,
Now, man, now I'm really.
yeah, Poppy like the Wizard of
Oh,
Oz.
yeah. Now I really am just delighted by the image of what was the animal guy's name? Someone said it out loud, and it was delightful. It was like Frankie Del Vecchio or something. But just like, I love the idea now that you put that in my head, Molly, of just like they set out the broken vase pieces and the flowers, like whoever's like doing the set.
Yep.
And they're just like, okay, Munchkin, whatever the dog's name is, like, come here. Okay, lay down.
Yeah.
Lay down. No, not there. Lay, like, you know what I mean? They'd have to get it to light on, like,
place it
right where they needed it, the flowers and shit, and then maybe just like move the vase a little bit around its head. Oh, adorable.
So cute. He's just taking a nap.
And then when the shot was done, they gave him a treat
I bet they
for
did.
being such a good dog.
Yeah.
Good dog.
So yes, that was less traumatic than Norman the calf with a gun in his mouth.
Most things are,
I bet
right?
Norman
That
the
was-
calf didn't get a treat after that.
Come on. You don't think they like put peanut butter on the end of that gun?
Speaking of Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Uh-huh.
we briefly touched on MVPs, but I want to go back around.
Yes,
in case
Yeah.
anybody's
please.
got any other ones.
I have so
Bus
many.
driver,
Yeah.
for sure.
Just
Like chewing gum and
right at
like
the end. Just
living her life.
having a great day.
She loves being a bus
She
driver.
loves it.
Within that bus, one of my MVP students was the like. It's like the
kid all the way in the
Australian
back?
style hat
Yep.
that can button on either side.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's probably got a
Like
name.
Muldoon.
Muldoon's
Like
hat.
Muldoon, yeah.
Mhm.
Tweet
Yeah.
at us, our Australian listener.
Yep.
What's the hat called?
I hate this becoming such a regular occurrence, but Mandy, when you hear this episode, please tweet at us and tell us what hat it is. I will send you a picture if you need a reference.
Yeah. I described it well. He's wearing one of those hats
Yes.
and has a full mustache.
I mean, a full,
like a
like
full teen mustache.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a very
I don't want to
impressive
give that
teen
mustache too much credit, but it was like it was impressive for a teen.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's like it's a perfectly serviceable mustache for a full adult.
Absolutely. It's
It's
like
great. and
it's
he's
like
just the background staring.
yeah,
I mean, the girl that Rooney sits next to
Oh,
is also
she's my
very
MVP.
good.
with her gigantic glasses
They're
And yeah,
so
her warm
big.
gummy
and her
bears.
warm
Oh,
beard.
God.
Yeah. I loved them. I loved when they do a drive-by of the school at gym class.
Golf cart.
Golf cart coach is great.
Yeah.
I loved the student body there. A lot
Yes.
of different body types represented. I loved it. But there's one dude who's gigantic and wearing a half shirt.
Yes.
Like they couldn't find a shirt to fit him. And I think he's got a pretty badass mullet. He just looks like he's like
He's pretty cut.
just this like, badass dude in a half
The
shirt.
impression that John Hughes had a hard time in gym class.
You think so?
There's very often gym class antics in the background.
I had a moment watching golf cart gym teacher of remembering one of our middle school gym teachers who would just bring a bucket out and like sit on an overturned bucket while we had to do shit.
Ugh.
And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like at least stand or lean on something.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
blow
do
a
a
whistle or
lean.
something.
I feel like there's a lot of room for physical education to be better.
Agreed.
Oh, absolutely.
It could be way more fun for
Yeah,
starts.
it could be
Yeah.
way less like you're doing this because it's good for you. Now shut up and do it, and more like, okay, guys, do one of these three things. Here's a heart rate monitor. Get your heart rate up for this amount of minutes.
Yeah.
There's just like so many ways you could engage people in using their body
Right?
Mm-hmm.
that are not climb a rope
Run a mile.
and run a mile.
Well, the thing that I hated about that is that we would never train to run a mile.
Yes.
It would just be
Yeah.
like, oh, today
Today
we're
we're
running
running
the
a mile. Yeah.
Like we haven't run at all the rest of the class.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And there was no follow up after that either.
no, it was like once at the beginning of the year, once at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
look how you've improved. I remember we had a gym teacher in middle school who got us all to do, was it jump rope? We had to like do jump rope routines.
Mhm.
So she just split us up into groups and was like, make up a routine to this song.
What song was it?
It was In Excess, New Sensation.
Nice.
And we got to pick the song.
Oh,
Like we got to suggest songs and then she would like approve them based on content.
sure.
And whether or not it had a solid beat. And New Sensation made it through. It's
Nice.
not nearly as sexually suggestive as some of the other In Excess songs that I listen to a lot.
Molly.
I'm just saying. P.S. Michael Hutchins, there's a new biography movie. What do you call those?
Biopic.
Biopic. Biopic is coming out at some point.
Great.
Okay. But I thought it was very creative because people love making up routines and it
Yeah.
kept us occupied.
Mhm.
Sounds fun.
And we worked really hard on it. And I guess we performed it for the school or something. I don't know. But
Great.
Tell you what, she said that she was losing like 5 pounds a week from doing all the jump rope stuff because she
Yeah.
did it with us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a VIP.
Yeah.
VIP.
Yeah.
Great.
Actually, the two of them, when they're in
Oh.
the whatever that big building is in
Sears Tower.
Chicago,
Now it's called something else, right?
Willis Tower.
Willis
Did they
Tower.
change the name?
Yeah.
Hey,
'Cause
Chicago, why'd you change the Sears Tower,
Yeah.
Sears and Roebuck?
Oh, these giant corporations just keep buying buildings from each other.
Well, with Willis, they only bought like 30% of the building.
Oh.
Just the top 30%. Get that up in the sky,
Hey,
real estate.
whatever. Oh yeah. For the listener, Dan and Beth and I especially spent like a
Yeah.
solid, I'm gonna say 60% of this movie
Yeah.
just attempting Chicago accents.
Yeah.
It was really something.
And succeeded.
Chicago.
Chicago sport
The
peppers.
top of Willis Tower, there's two guys wearing
Oh, yeah.
crazy hats.
Oh,
That's
those
true.
hats were. I've never seen those guys.
no,
before.
me
Yeah.
neither. They were just
Maybe
there.
they
Why
weren't
were they?
in the movie before.
Oh,
but no,
digitally
that was
added.
introducing the parade.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
We gotta scout out the parade route in our crazy elf hats.
Crazy elf.
Because the parade is like the Mardi Gras
Yeah,
of Germanic
right?
history.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it was like the German
Fashion.
American something a society.
But
It's-
is it also right before Lent? It's like that kind of.
Yeah,
in
it's-
that way, it's Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Can I tell you about my MVP?
Yep.
yeah.
Still Charlie Sheen.
Wow.
And I know that MVPs are usually a little more obscure, but he just had the one scene.
Yep.
And it turns out in the credits, his character has a name.
Which is ridiculous.
Garth Valbeck.
Garth Valbeck.
Yeah.
Garth Valbeck,
I've been
Chicago.
doing drugs down by Wrigley Field all night.
Hey Garth, you're when you're coming home to your
Yeah, I don't know, y'all.
sport peppers.
Sport peppers, deep dish, hot dog.
But Charlie
Jack.
Sheen is fantastic.
Yeah, he's really embodies the he's super burned out from whatever he's been doing, but is totally okay with it.
Yeah.
Character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm here for drugs.
Mhm.
He's just very honest.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, which I guess is refreshing for her.
Right.
And I suppose a lot happens between the time they have their conversation. He does drop a neg, which I
Mhm.
did not care
He
for.
negs hard.
Yeah.
He negs pretty hard. He is
Mhm.
kind of a bad boy and all that stuff. So,
Well.
0 points for that, but A+ for being charming in every other way.
Sure.
Was he?
And honest, yeah.
He was for you. He did not charm me.
Well, you are not a 13-year-old girl.
Neither are you, Molly.
Shut up! I was. I was.
Before we get to how we really feel about the movie, we like to read a review of our own podcast, totesrecall.com, in the impression of a character from the movie,
Mhm.
or just like the impression of, you might say Chicago is like the fifth character in this movie.
Is
We
it?
could just do Cameron's adult voice. too.
Yeah, that would be good.
And we do have one.
Oh, nice.
Thank
Yay.
you. So yeah, is anybody feeling inspired?
While people are trying to decide if they're inspired, I just want to mention to any improv nerd heads out there, Del Close makes an appearance.
Weird.
In this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
He plays the English teacher.
I wonder if he verbally harassed anyone else on set between cuts.
Potentially.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Potentially some rough times.
Seemed like that was his thing.
Let's whatever. I'm not going to get into it.
I don't know that I can do Cameron's dad
Okay.
justice.
Well, I can try it.
Please try it.
How did it go? Rudy. That's a Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
well,
awesome.
No.
give me a taste. So what do you get?
He said
What
something
do you
like,
say?
"This is." Oh yeah, and I'm doing Jimmy Stewart too.
Rudy. Nope.
Peterson, I'm slow. Peterson, hey.
You're an asshole. No, I'm doing Stewart. I can't stop. You got it in my head. You planted the
Sorry.
seed.
Well, this
Just
is
go
what we're
for
doing.
it.
Just
Here
do
we
Jimmy
go.
Stewart.
Rudy, don't let anyone tell you your cackling is not delightful.
Is that it?
No,
Oh.
that's the title.
Okay.
This is Miss Savage. Most authentic and delightful expression of joy I've heard in a long time. Just saying. Also, I can't stop listening to this podcast. Glasses smiley emoji.
Wow. did
That
not
was-
sound like Cameron Zolvich, but you definitely sounded like someone else that I cannot quite identify.
I don't
I
know.
got
The
away from
movie
Ju-
phone guy.
Maybe a movie phone guy. Yeah. Maybe you were like the movie phone guy
Here are the
combined.
times for Independence Day.
Yeah, you were like a combination of movie phone guy, Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal
Yeah.
with reviews?
Yeah.
Wait, who wrote that review?
This is Miss Savage.
Thanks,
Oh,
Miss
thank you, Miss Savage. That was
Thank you.
super nice.
Thank you.
That was really nice.
We
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, we do agree.
So thank you very much. If you want yours read, leave it.
Wow.
Great. Very helpful, thorough
I'm sure
instruction.
our listeners at home would not be able to tell
Leave
that you
a
were...
maximum review on
Okay.
iTunes or somewhere else, but tweet at us if you leave it somewhere else. We love you.
Wow, what an attitude.
Wow. Someone's a regular Jean Bueller over here.
Okay, that's unfair. As I discussed earlier, she is a product of her environment, and she is going to do great in the future.
Oh, Dan's not a product of the Totes Recall environment. Come on.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Dan.
Yep.
You gave this is Save Ferris t-shirts.
yes.
The Save Ferris t-shirts from the movie, not band merchandise.
Yes, but we're actually the origins of the band because Hank Crestor brought them home
Yeah.
to his son, who you will have to be a patron to find out his real name,
Yeah. Or
patreon.com/TotesRecall.
You gave it 3 because you thought you would dislike Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I definitely came out of it ambivalent towards Ferris Bueller, but I very much appreciated the emotional authenticity of Cameron and Jean. And I did find it very entertaining. 4 shirts.
Yay!
Yeah. Ooh, but one of them is definitely like torn in half and a real cut dude is running around a gym track,
So just a safe.
high school track,
It wasn't cut as much as just like big, like
just
a big
torn
dude.
apart.
Okay.
Right? I feel like he had like defined abs.
Maybe
I don't know. We'd have to go back.
we have to go back.
We still have it for 44 hours. Is that what your TV
Yeah.
said?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We can watch it
HD.
80 times or something. Beth, you thought it would be 4 because it'd be worse than you remembered.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, like I said earlier, it was one of my favorite movies as a teen, and I still loved it. I wasn't, even though I thought Ferris was very annoying this time around, I thought other characters were more interesting, and I will give it 5.
Wow.
I bet 5, filled with hope.
Yep.
I thought there would be a depth that I didn't see coming, which is true. But I also was more disappointed in Ferris Bueller than I would have expected. But I liked it. 4 from me.
Wow. Cool.
Molly, you thought about giving it a 5, but then subtracting 1.5 points for
One-half
problematic, shirts, problematic elements, but then adding a point
Right.
for Charlie Sheen.
Shirts.
Yep.
Shirts. And then there's still a 75% chance that 4.5 rating will be lowered
Right.
by
Me.
Dan.
Dan Linden. Yeah. Well, and you can hear me struggle because I fought Dan Linden on some pretty basic observations. They're
mean-
not basic. I'm not saying.
And I feel like fought is being unfair to you.
Well,
You challenged my
I did, but I really feel like I was
Interpretation.
challenging your interpretation more for my 13-year-old self
mm,
than I was for my very old current self.
Pepsi generation. So.
Pepsi. I'm not. No, I would never take part. No Atlantan would ever take part in the Pepsi generation.
Okay, Coke Lana.
Coke Lana. I'll take that.
Okay.
I will take
All
that
right.
over the alternative.
All right.
Hot
No.
Coke Lana.
Nope.
That disgusting.
Ugh. You know what? It turns out I think my ratings prediction is pretty right on.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching this movie again, and even though if I had been really pushed to do it, I probably could have given you an almost frame by frame description of what happens in the movie. I found so many little moments that I'd never noticed before and was really excited about. And those Grace and Rooney scenes were really fantastic. And I found myself really relating to Jeanie a lot more and enjoying those dad moments in a way I'd never really fully
Great dad.
appreciated.
Great dad moments.
Oh, great. Like I could watch that dude just driving the car for a while. It was really fun. So yeah, I found the spirit of it to be very engaging. But I'm still going to deduct points for Ferris being annoying. And yeah, knowing about white privilege is a real bummer. It takes a lot of fun out of a lot of things.
That should honestly be the thesis or the
Yep.
subtitle of this podcast. Right? Like I feel like a lot of movies that we rewatch, they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
That's a shame. Which is even a point of privilege to be able to observe it in
Yes.
that way. So yeah. Anyway, 4.5 Save Ferris shirts.
Ooh.
Great.
Great.
Terrific.
Did we want to mention that we confirmed that the Dean of Students is a creep?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Yeah, he is a creep.
We
You
can
can
just-
look it up
Yeah, we can just
if
leave
you
it
want to
there.
know more details about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But it's a real bummer.
Yeah.
Rudy!
You're a
real
creep!
This is Mr. Peterson. That was Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
He's sort of like, maybe he kind of sounds like Mr. Howe from Gilligan's Island. Now I'm trying to remember what he sounds
Oh,
like, right?
yeah. It just sounds rich. He sounds like
He
somebody
just sounds rich.
calling down from you from their yacht.
From their yacht.
Ooh, holding a big cell phone, like a big thick one
Yes,
from the 90s.
absolutely.
And a
Oh, with a
pineapple.
helipad. So just encapsulate that in a voice.
Yeah.
There it is.
Was it?
Sorry.
Merry Christmas, movie house.
I'm going to come down there and
Yeah, see?
chuck your nuggets.
It's me. What?
I don't know.
Chuck your nuggets?
He said some weird
Please
shit.
tell me that is a Coke-Lana saying that
Yeah.
you've brought up north with you.
No.
That really
Is that a-
chucks my
Yeah,
nuggets.
is that an expression of frustration or a threat?
Oh, it's a threat.
I'm gonna chuck your nuggets.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll
Hey.
chuck your nuggets.
Hey, it's me.
That really burns my butter.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.